there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Allison, and I'm pleased to welcome you to a little gem of a game called Cairn. Released in January 2026, this is already shaping up to be one of my top 10 indies of the decade. The gameplay loop is exceptionally compelling, although it's very tricky in spots and harrowing as hell, but I'm telling you, man, I had an absolute blast with this game, and I could not wait to share this experience with you, especially because there is some DLC coming out soon, and I definitely want to be there when it drops. Hopefully I didn't just jinx myself by saying that, but let's go and take a look at some of our difficulty options, starting with Explorer, a lighter challenge for players seeking a more story-driven experience. You'll have a far easier time surviving the elements, you get to climb with all your gear, progress is saved automatically, but your true claim to fame is your space-time rewind, which you can use to prevent fatal falls. Could prove to be a little helpful, especially if you're kind of clumsy in this game. Now, most people would recommend starting on Alpinist, where things are essentially the same, although your saves are locked behind the bivouac sites, and you lose your space-time rewind. Womp womp. In my opinion, the best way to play, and the only way I've actually even beaten the game, is on free solo. Survival is still balanced, but you lose your pittance, you don't get a belay, you have no saves, and death is final. Even though there are a couple of ways this game very cleverly works around this and gives you some space-time rewinds in the form of a very rare collectible. This is extremely challenging, and we're gonna do it. I love this mode so much, and I highly recommend you give it a shot. So beware, climber, because there is no turning back. So maybe we'll take a quick run in the practice arena, just to be on the safe side.
All I ever wanted was to touch eternity for an instant. To reach one of those rare moments of bliss, where everything seems in its place and you feel you're part of a whole. Do you know what I mean? Hey, Climbot. Go ahead, answer.
Hey, Arthur, it's Chris. Do you ever pick up the phone?
Hi, Chris. Sorry. Look, I've not really got a whole lot of time to chat right now.
Absolutely. Just touching base to say we're good to go here. And I gotta tell you, we're all fired up. Rooting for you to become the first human to set foot on the summit of Kami.
Yeah, sure. Okay, gotta go. Just call me back. Come on, Climbot. I'm ready. Let's do this.
That's right. The mountain is calling, but even veteran climbers need a warm-up. So let's learn the basics before taking on the most dangerous mountain known to fictional mankind. As we start climbing, one thing you might know about this game is that you have to control each of Ava's limbs independently of each other and use them as leverage to make your way up walls. It seems a little simple and kind of silly at times, but honestly, once you get into the swing of things, it really is very intuitive, and you can even choose which of your limbs to go up if you really want to. So we'll go and start this one as well, and this is about as easy as it's gonna get. Yeah, there we go. These are all nice and brightly laid out for us, which is good. You can cancel your last action, but you want to be careful because whatever your limb is on, when you decide to cancel your last action, it'll clamp to whatever's next. And sometimes if that's a wall, you'll be in a worse position than if you had just committed to the other move. But we'll just go and set you right there. I'm up here, and voila. Jump back down. It forces us to do that here. Now, one of the things I do really appreciate about the art style of this game is the fact that it's so simple, but you can see there are some aspects of the mats that give way under Ava's footsteps that is just, you'll see a bunch of little touches like that that really kind of bring the art style to life, and I really love it. It's kind of crazy how good cell shading can look in 2026. But apparently I can't make that one. So now they're going to start integrating actual rock faces to our practice here, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but if you play this game on, say, a Steam Deck, which I would highly recommend, it's excellent on that. Some of these might be hard to see, but you can stretch, as we've already maybe done a few, but if you're already outstretched, you won't be able to go in whatever direction. So that's great. You'll also notice that in the tutorials and in the cutscenes, Ava has a substantially larger backpack, and that is the normal size of your pack when you're not playing on free solo mode. Instead, we get like this little knapsack type thing, and it really limits how much you can hold, and it's kind of crazy actually, just how much inventory management goes into this game. Let's see, I guess I can set you right there, and yeah, we should almost be good to go. Set you right there. Yeah, you really don't want to sleep on just how flexible Ava can be. Actually, set you right here too. And we're fine. Yeah, I can even set you maybe on the side there. Nope, sometimes she won't let you do that. That's all right. If I just do this. Let me go ahead and move this arm. And now I can, there we go. Leverage my up, and we're good. Man, I want to go like higher, but it's not going to let me. Of course it's not. So we'll jump down. And that's what happens when you fall. So whenever you're ready, we can choose to climb the rock face, but something that you might miss if you end up skipping this tutorial section are all manners of goodies to be found even here still. By completing the rest of the walls, we can open this chest, and this will have something in there for us. I don't quite remember what, but we'll explore that in just a minute. I have a tourism poster here for Laka National Park. Wait, is that where we're going in the DLC? I don't remember. They just announced it, so it's kind of new, but got some chalk here, which is great, and we get to learn about our tiny little backpack. So here you'll notice all manners of things that we start with. We get some pain pills that can increase our health and even have some other effects like giving us some extra grip strength. We also have freeze-dried veggies, which we're gonna have to cook, but for the most part, I wouldn't worry too much about these. You also get some chocolate that can give you the zoomies, sometimes even some focus, and climbing tape so that you can bandage your fingers, which will help maximize your grip. But your main item here is going to be the Pearly Edelweiss, which is something that is unique to free solo mode, and it's what you'll use if you end up falling to your death. This is the one item that you start with that can give you a free revive, essentially. And we'll be able to find 3 others over the course of the game, but the way that they distributed them is so interesting because what would normally be these unbreakable pittons have been replaced with these Edelweisses. Edelweiss? And it might almost not even be worth it to go for them because they are in such dangerous and hard to reach areas. It would be a hard sell. Over here we've got 4 servings of clean water, which we can make infusions with, and you also have chalk that can increase your grip. You can only use these 2, well, the only items you can use while climbing are these 2 here. You cannot access your backpack in mid-climb, so it's good to keep these nice and topped off. And on top of that, we have the barometer, which I've never used but can more or less predict the weather. We have our reading materials here, which eventually we'll find some documents we can refer to, and we also have keepsakes. I have Pickup Pika, just doing some recording tests, but if you bought the deluxe version of this game, you would get these 3 here, and they're very adorable. They don't offer much other than some, little aesthetics, but I like the way they look, and we'll be playing around with those as we find more. If we head over here, ooh, this looks cool.
Put up with that entire film crew for a month to make this stupid documentary. Another one of Chris's genius ideas. The perfect opportunity to get some exposure. Yeah, well, he didn't have a camera in his face the whole time.
Yeah, she really feels some kind of way about that. Semi in preparation for this project, I ended up rewatching the documentary Free Solo, and while I still think Alex Hammond is an asshole, I had a bigger appreciation for him and his wife after watching the Skyscraper live event they did on Netflix, which was kind of crazy, but I don't know. I would recommend checking it out. It's on Hulu, and it's a great documentary on its own. Over here we have a vending machine, but no coins. What gives? Well, as it turns out, there's actually some right on the floor here, some pocket change, and there's also somebody's small bottle. So interestingly enough, you can use this water bottle to hold liquid in it, obviously, but it takes a lot of space in your inventory, and I almost don't know that it would be worth it. As for pocket change, it's heavy and useless, but yeah, I'd rather have a handful of coins than a fistful of dollars, right? That's how that goes. Interestingly enough, you can compost your pocket change for an achievement, and one of the things you can do with your climb bot is make chalk. And over the course of our adventure, we'll be able to pick up trash and compost it, and after so much time that it takes to break it down into chalk, it'll give us one of these, which is 3 servings of chalk, and very helpful to have, so I'll probably end up playing around with that at some point. But yeah, we're gonna have to get started on all of these. I just want to finish our rounds around here.
I had no idea. That's crazy. She was so young, too.
Yeah, damn. Well, that is a bit of a shame, but I guess the one, guiding light is the fact that she's officially part of the 27 Club, right? Are we allowed to say that, belovingly? So let's go and use some of our pocket change. We get energy gummies, yellow yak, which is a energy drink, raisins and protein bars, fruit jellies. Your best item here is absolutely going to be the Alpine's cola. Almost said soda, but it's cola. And essentially the reason for that is because it gives you a little upgrade called grit. For 3 minutes, your health, your hunger, your thirst, and your temperature will not be affected. And so this can help save you from non-fatal falls, but it's particularly helpful at the end of the game. And there's a couple of different workarounds for that people will end up using, but personally, still very good. And I would recommend at least keeping an eye on your grit related items. They're usually a lot bigger than this, so it's good to have. Is there anything else over here? Possibly not. Ooh, so we've got the promotional poster for the brand Yukai. So this is presumably for a bivouac, and it's kind of funny that people will literally just set up camp on the side of a freaking cliff. Discount coupon, 10% off, but not available with children's memberships.
Climbot with double wall vacuum insulation that keeps your coffee warm. What are they going to come up with next?
I have no idea, but I prefer my little clanker, the little Climbot buddy we've got. And we got a classified ad, so nice little bit of world building we do around here. And I think we'll play some music. The soundtrack for this game is very good as well. I like it a lot. Tourism poster for Tenzin National Park and its stone gardens. And we've also got one of these. So we'll actually be seeing the Cami cable car, right? Yeah, book now. That actually looks exceptionally dangerous.
30 climbing attempts per year on average over the last 70 years. Not a single ascent of the summit. Return rate 40%. Cami, you are really living up to your name.
Yeah, no kidding. Which is why we're gonna be the first. God, and I love this art style. It's insane how cool some of these posters are. I would literally hang this up in my living room. It's insane how much of a boomer I have become. So we're gonna go ahead and climb our way up through each of these little sections here. Completely optional, but just for the goods. And it won't be too bad. I do think 4B is probably easier than 4A, but this will give us a good chance to really practice and, get our commentary chops in. I was kind of concerned about how I'd go about playing this and then commentating at the same time, which for most games I'm usually pretty comfortable about. I've been recording a lot of Liza P, and I think I'm going to be uploading the series a lot sooner than that series is gonna come out, but I do try to make it a thing to do live commentary across the board and to just have all of the emotions and real-time, I guess, feelings that I'm having. Can I not do this? Let me see here. You'll probably hear a lot of analog stick shaking and whatnot, because I'm just like adjusting. But this is an extremely cozy game, and can I not do this? Here, let me try that. I don't like not gripping onto something when I use my feet. Will this work? There you go. Occasionally you are going to have to restore your stamina, so get that lactic acid out there. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Let me do this. Nope. I want my left leg, please, to go right here. And that, yeah, sometimes you do just need to go out of your way and adjust things, but that's where having chalk definitely comes in handy. So I'm going to move you right here. Grab this one. Or this one, maybe. That's a rough one. Nope, I didn't want that. I did not. Oh, please don't. Please don't. Nope. Okay, we're fine. We're okay. I'm gonna almost fall, but if I set you right there, set you right there. Ooh, that's terrifying. I cannot already be falling in the tutorial section. Please. It's just sometimes your limbs don't do what you want them to. There we go. So over here we have a belay point, and this is what we could use to go ahead and refill our stamina. It's an invisible meter, but it's pretty easy to tell when you're about ready to run out. And that's basically all we can do. If we were playing on Alpine difficulty, you could just go ahead and rappel down from here, but seeing as how we don't got any of that on us, we're fine. So climbing at the top of this isn't necessarily going to yield anything good, unfortunately, but I think on this one, yeah. You see that? There's somebody left their money up there. What the heck? I'm pretty sure there's also a keepsake at the top of that one, so that's fun. Let's try and make our way down. Sometimes it is a little trickier to make your way down than you would think. So let me belay real quick, just so that we can get ourselves in a better position. Sometimes they actually leave you in a worse spot, but that's okay. Can I do this? I'm actually going to use some chalk. They give you so much over the course of the game that it's kind of not even funny. Sometimes she doesn't like to grab onto the holds you're going for, which is a little annoying, but not that surprising. Let's do this. Do some of this. There we go. It's a nice little rhythm. They keep these, I guess, tutorial sections fairly, I don't know, open-ended so that you can practice. Okay, can I just, like, grab this one, please? Thank you. And so long as we don't fall off against our own will, then it won't count against us on the pause screen, where it will also record your deaths, and that is not fun. But there will be some very silly falls that you'll be taking, and the ragdolls are pretty impressive. But I'll try not to have too much of that happen. Just going our way down, and yeah, we're fine. We're in the safe zone. Like this, and stretch. Ugh. Beautiful. There we go. What else? What else is new over here? I almost wonder, should I drop or shall I not? Yeah, we'll do it. That should be all right. If not, that would be kind of silly. Let's see. Shall we go and take on number 5? There's 6 over here also. Yeah, actually this one shouldn't be too bad. You can sort of see what path they expect you to take here. So that's nice. Well, 5 is gonna be not too bad. So actually, can I, oops, I did not mean to do that. I wanted to raise my other leg here. There we go. Start with that one and leverage our way up. Let's see. Sometimes she'll actually, yeah, go a little bit higher than you would think. It's nice when she does that, but it's not always a guarantee. Oh yeah. And let me see. I guess I could probably just do this, one of these, and do not underestimate just how flexible Ava can be, because it's very impressive, actually. Some of the stretches we'll end up doing. Sure, I'll belay. Sometimes this will leave you in a worse spot than you were before, but that actually ended up being pretty nice. So I guess I'll set you right there. I'll stretch as I can. One of us. Thank you. And anytime we have to go through an overhang, it's a little scary. I actually will use some chalk here. And can I reach? Nah, that's good. Can I do this?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Come on. Ugh. Sometimes I get a little cockier than I should. Yeah, that wasn't gonna work. In what world, man? There we go. Recover our stamina real quick. And thank you. Now, I do believe I was given payment for reaching up here. More pocket change. It's good stuff. So yeah, I think I read somewhere that it's not necessary to bring money with you over the course of your journey. There's nothing you can buy beyond this point, and there's no pocket change you can find on the mountain. So in case that was something that you might have been looking forward to, then I'm so sorry. So we'll go and climb down. Again, this part would be so much easier if we could rappel, but sadly, it might be a good idea for us to get this practice in more than anything, because there are going to be a lot of diverting paths that have some very interesting lore-related implications. And I want to try to see as much of this game as I can without being reckless about it. And one of the things I like about this game is that you can really just be as reckless or as safe as you want to be. There are plenty of alternate paths that you can take, and it really doesn't come as much of a surprise that, you know, a lot of people have different ways of going through this game. That seems sketchy, but okay, thank you. Yeah, there we go. We're fine here. We ought to be at least. Thank you. Alright, so this one, I think 6A is a bit on the safer side. It makes me kind of nervous though. I don't know if I like it. I don't think I've done 6B before, so we'll try this. I do appreciate it when they have a wall that's perpendicular to another, because it makes it so much easier to just go through and come on up. I think wall 7 actually has you doing a lot of that without any handholds. So we'll just grab this, and so long as you're just able to leverage something, should be okay. Yeah, so right here, as long as you're not like too outspread or awkwardly placed, and you just don't waste time. That's kind of the big thing. So you just want to try not to, not spend too much of it, just like slipping. Yeah, we'll off delay here. If you could just like drop me off right over here, that would be great. That's fine, I guess. But again, these overhangs are pretty terrifying. So which way do we want to go? I think I'm gonna go left, I think. Anytime you see her start to shake, that's kind of scary. Might be another good chance. Ooh, I already used all my chalk. I forgot to re-up on that, which is fine. Don't need it. Can I do this? Reach for that. There we go. I don't need no stinking chalk. Okay, so I'll sit here and hoist up. Right leg forward. Oh, I can belay also. Hopefully that's not too awkward. Can I grab this, please? Nope, apparently not. There we go. Why are you struggling? Oh, she's like, okay, that's fine. Let me just off belay again. Let's try that one more time. So from here, you actually, I completely forgot about this. You can go into your inventory, so that's nice. We have chalk, and we have about another minute before we get our compost, and we'll get 3 more chalks out of that. So like I said, it's not that bad. Should I maybe use one of these? I wanted to save my chocolate, but since we're going to be using our Alpine Cola, might as well go for a bit of grit. So typically when you use an item like this, it will drop trash, and there you can just go ahead and compost. The more things you compost at once, you'll see that went down by 20-35 seconds, so it's not too bad. And we're probably set for this. So let's slowly make our way down, I suppose. And unbuckle, please. There we go. I think that was all right. God, it's terrifying. Set you there. That's sketchy as hell. Got this one. Here, let me go over here. Grab this. I can't even reach that. Okay. Let me do this. I wonder how we were supposed to do that in the first place. Thank you for jutting your foot in there. Oh, man. Luckily, this doesn't usually kill you, but it's scarier in the game. Trust me. Let's belay just a moment. Get our stamina back. This again. Sure, why not? I'll just go over here. As long as we're not too outstretched, should be just fine. Absolutely peachy. And yeah, these little sections here when you can use 2 different walls, it's just so good. But you want to be careful not to just drop. You'll actually want to just hold B. Otherwise, it will count as a fall. And it will go on our permanent record. There we go. Glad we wasted our Alpine Cola on that. And let's go ahead over here. Looks like I should have been able to pick up that trash, but not the case. So it's... Oh, wait a minute. There's even more change over here. Good God. They really do take care of you in this game. It's kind of obscene, actually. So is there anything else that I would need to buy? Because, I mean, there are some foods that will end up causing you to be dehydrated. I think maybe there's peanut butter and stuff like that gives you a lot of food. But energy gummies, I don't think give you any extra strength like you would think. But Yellow Yak is indeed a lovely little energy drink that'll help us hopefully do something. I'm not quite sure what. Did I even get it? Or did I... Oh, I thought I did. Maybe I just ran out of space. This empty bottle, I don't know if I necessarily want either. Doesn't matter. We'll deal with it later. As far as number 7 is concerned, let's start. So this one has very few handholds, but it's where you use the sides of both of these walls to just sort of hoist yourself up. And as long as you're not too outstretched, like I said, you should be fine. Good place to use chalk. And I will go ahead and try that here as well. Just don't get too crazy about it. And you should be fine. There we go. Grab some of these. Don't even need that one. And can I climb on this? Thank you. It's about ready to start losing some stamina there. Yeah, you know, let's actually go ahead and climb up all the way, shall we? I'm sure there's got to be something up here. Ooh, it's getting a lot wider. Wider and wider. Starting to get a little shaky on the hamstrings there. And this is where we can find the Tenzin keepsake. So let me go ahead and, whoops, I'm too used to Liza P here. Let's go and switch it, shall we? The Yukai tent. So, yeah, it's kind of cute. I like that one. A climbing gym card, a fond memory from all those years of training. Yeah, that's cute. Was there anything else over here? It might almost be a better idea to just climb down alongside one of these other easier ones, but we'll just take the way we came back. Which is a valid way of sort of cheating this very last wall, which I'll admit, the first time I did this, I fell 20 plus times trying to get down here. And oops, that's bad. That is not a great start. I'm just gonna do this just to start off. Yeah, sometimes you just start shaking and that's when it makes me nervous. There we go. Do some of this. I step on that. Don't like it. Nope, not there. Not on the wall there. There we go. Yeah, this one. Not great. Here, can I jump? Oh, good. Thank God. And yeah, this is definitely the trickier one. But the first time I did this, I just climbed up to the top of 3 and I dropped down up onto that one. I just had enough, but I have completed this since. So shall I perhaps consider jumping down and taking on... Yeah, you know, we'll go and take this just in case. I'm going to go ahead and... I could use some Kuratico. Smaller holds feel less painful. But I might end up getting rid of something here. I don't think I need 2 of these Pankara pills, so we'll do that just to get something going. And we'll make our way as far up as we possibly can. Yeah, this one is sketchy as hell. So I'll grab you. And we begin. So the smaller holds are a little scary too. You just want to be quick with your ascent and you just don't want to lollygag. Can I actually... Let me see. If I do this, I can climb onto this. Whoops. Can I make that? Yes, I can. There we go. Put my foot there. Put my hand there. And we're fine. Feeling a little anxious about this, though.
Focus.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. Okay. Set us up right here. That's the wall. Sometimes it's not the hold. It's the wall, and you want to watch out for that. So I'll set you right there. How about you? Man, these rumbles are so much more intense on this version of the game because I've only played this really on the Steam Deck and it's really good still, but how do I do this? Should I just try this right here and just make a beeline for this one? Ah, shit. Nope, nope, nope. Ah, shit, shit, shit. Bail, bail, bail! Oh, that might count for a fall. No, it doesn't. Okay, I saved myself. Oh, shoot. I don't remember how I did this one. That's crazy. Use my grip again. It's a little early, but that's fine. We'll have plenty. Oh, whoops. Try this again. Yeah, this is actually harder than a lot of even the mid-game runs that you'll end up doing. So maybe I should just use, like, I don't know, something. Another easy drink. Can I do this? There we go. Do some of this. Do right there. Okay, this should be a little better, I think. She's been hitting the struggle bus over here, though. I know technically that's me, but... Okay. So is there... Yeah, that's just like really weird shadowing, I think. So we put our foot down there. Should I do this? What is this going to do for me? Nothing. So I'll put you right here. Grab that. Both hands. And then foot there. And then we reach. Yeah, there we go. All right, we did it. Oh no, did that count as a fall? Okay, good. It didn't. Half an hour in the training room and we're finally done. Let's open this up for the Beekeeper's Map. This is pretty important because it'll take us to some very secretive areas that will have incredible items for us. It's also great for world building, I'm not gonna lie. You can also get a protein bar and Kuranol, which I would actually probably want to take right now. Oh man, I might just get rid of this empty bottle. It's a lot of space. I hate that I'm already doing this, but eventually you do find some other containers to hold liquids in, and some of them will actually keep things warm indefinitely, and that is going to certainly be far more worth it. Eat a granola bar, which I can't because I'm not hungry, apparently. Yeah, we wasted absolutely no time here. But the Kuranol, this one should be good, right? Where is it? Why am I picking things up and then immediately? It's because my backpack is just... Can I just like make some space in here? Items are usually a lot bigger than you would think as well. So let me see. That should work. Kuranol. Now, as we go back into the vastness of space, 20 HP. Okay, not worth it in the slightest. But let's go and grab ourselves some drinks for the road. I'll take another Alpine Cola and a Yellow Yak. And that should be almost every one of our items here. I still didn't buy it. Yeah, this thing is massive. All right, off you trot, I guess. I'll try it again. That's weird that it seemed like it let me buy, but there we go. You would think that this is my first time playing this, right? So this will get us 2 minutes of grip strength. Not bad, actually. It'd probably be worth it. I thought this would have given us some shock as well, but that's all right. Let's begin our first proper ascent. Try not to make any more rookie mistakes. But training wheels are going to start coming off here soon, and we'll get into what this game truly entails. So in my opinion, I would say that having the pittons really isn't that much of a detraction to your experience, because the first time I played this, obviously I did start on Alpine difficulty, but I never used the pittons. You have to do like a quick time event in order to drill it into the wall, and if you fail, it might break, at which point your climb bot will be able to fix your pittons. And anytime I see posts about people who are like, how are you making it through the game with all your pittons breaking? I'm like, what are you doing to break them all? It really isn't that difficult in my opinion, but that might just be me. I did see somebody refer to this as like a Dark Souls difficulty-esque game just because it is a little brutal in places, and maybe not in the ways that you would think necessarily, but once you see some of these cliff faces, brother, it's gonna be a rough time. So we'll just keep on making our way up here. And so long as there's something for you to put some part of your body in, you should be fine. Ooh, that's sketchy as hell. Okay. Just a lot of arm shaking. Yeah, we got it. We're fine. Oof. Another reason why I'd recommend doing the tutorial is because you do also get some more dialogue between some of these characters that we'll be speaking with over the course of the game. It's not just going to be me chatting it up the whole time. Can I get my arm out of the fabric of space and time? I appreciate it. And once you reach essentially the top, sometimes, yeah, you just get a free hoist up. And we finally made it. Good Lord Fisher. So I believe there's nothing on top of the gym here. It seems like it's pretty walled off to us, but we can bivouac, and your progress will never be saved, but you can do like a temp save, which is fine and nice and all. I think we'll be all right. There are plenty of these. You can even see there's another one right up ahead, and you'll also notice that there are kites around that'll indicate that, but got some raspberries here. That's nice. And let's see what this whole camping spiel is all about. As we come in here, you can cook things, you can tape up your fingers, and you can open your bag and check the weather. That's essentially it. You can also sleep to pass the time. I've never really found this to be particularly helpful, although if you don't like climbing at night, it's gonna be pretty terrible. So yeah, especially because you have a smaller lantern on free solo mode, but cooking is particularly good because we can use our water and we can mix this with our freeze-dried veggies. Doing that, we'll go ahead and make ourselves some stewed veggies. A good veggie bowl, a nice change from the plants you find on Kami. 10 health, 30 hunger, and 40 temperature, whatever that's supposed to be, for 24 minutes. It'll stay nice and warm, at which point you'll lose that effect of it, and it's just otherwise a big waste on your inventory space. So you're better off just using it now, plus we have the trash from the freeze-dried. It's just no bueno. So we'll just go ahead and eat. Well, we can't even eat it because we're not hungry, so I'll just go ahead and compost that, I guess. And, I'll probably wait on some of this stuff. With the raspberries, you can use this to infuse your water and enhance its effects, but we'll get into that a bit later. You'll mostly just want to focus on finding herbal items, and we'll get into that soon. I don't think so quite this early. It'll be relevant. Oh, we have a call.
Again? Who's it now? Chris? Naomi? Don't pick up. I'll take care of it later.
Yeah, a pretty healthy relationship she has with other people, surely. Over here we have a notice raising awareness about pollution linked to mountaineering. A mountain is not your garbage dump. Pick up your trash. Right. Over the course of our adventure, we'll also find some of the local wildlife, starting with the pika. Herbivores known for their sharp whistles may be difficult to spot. Yeah, you're telling me. We have a map of Tenzin, the indoor-outdoor sports complex, which is nice, and a poster about climbing practice. When in high altitude, don't lay off the chalk. Yeah, so thank you for that, I guess. We'll have that with our readables. And amongst other things, we can take a look around. Dandelion's very nice. I might actually pick that up. But let me see. Warning, due to major landslides, the GR 3007 hiking trail is temporarily closed. Temporarily, huh? I don't know about that. I don't think there's anything you can do over here, which isn't really the worst thing in the world. But you'll notice, anytime you try to speed walk, you start losing a bit of health over time. Kind of annoying, but most of the things you do in this game will recover your health. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. Anytime you happen to find a body of water, you can use this to fill your jugs, and you can also fill your mugs. I should be thirsty. I don't know why I can't drink from here. Am I just in the wrong spot? Or what is happening? And then you can just drink straight from the source. You know, that's always safe. There are little frogs here. Just a little kiss on the lips. Maybe just a little one. And then same thing over here. Still closed, still destroyed. I don't know what there is about that. One of the things that you can do to help sort of determine which way you can go is by checking your route. This will allow you to kind of get a glimpse of your immediate surroundings on where would be the safest place to climb. And with some of the maps you find, it'll actually also route out what are the safest paths, because you might not necessarily think immediately that there would be any worth taking until you try it first. Thistle, I believe you can make into stewed thistle, but this is the one we want, is the dandelion. So I'm gonna go ahead and just maybe I'll just eat that. I want to hold on to the chocolate. Probably don't need to worry about my alpine stuff. But these items are extremely large, so using them as early on as you can might be in your best interest. So I'm just gonna do that now. I might actually need to get rid of some stuff. Oh, and there we go. We just learned about it. Observing the wall from afar. Go and make our second camp here. Why not? It's easy enough to pull up and it's cozy as hell. Well, let's take a look. So if we go and take our fresh, pure, beautiful water and we go and mix it in with a dandelion, we find ourselves at odds with, hopefully, a cooked dandelion. Oh, I did not realize that, but that gives us 3 minutes of grit, which is not bad. I might just go and eat that now, because this is all stuff that you wouldn't see until after you've already exited the tutorial. We're still technically in it, so let's get out of here. I'll use that soon enough. Oh no, I just ate it, man. Yeah, we'll try right here, I think. Shouldn't be the worst thing in the world. We'll also be getting our next bit of chalk soon, so I don't know. That seems a little sketchy. Can I do up here? Yeah, there we go. Get our gymnastics all into play here. Yeah, we'll just keep going this way. I think maybe on the right side would have been a bit more advantageous, but that's all right. That's where a space-time rewind would have come in handy. This seems fine. All right. Now all of a sudden it just gets real quiet. Oh boy. Let me see. Go right here. Set myself up right there. And we're gonna be good here. Gonna use you there. Let's stretch out for that. Yeah, these are all tips and tricks you're gonna be learning climbing at the freaking summit of this place. It's insane, actually. Just some of the moves you have to do to make it to the top. There is quite a jump in difficulty towards the end. It's insane. Over here we've got a nice little spigot where we can go and see the little critter, little Pika. No, that's cute. And there's another place to ascend there, but let me take a look. Gentians, very important. Anytime you see those, instant pickup. That'll for sure get us an infusion. For some reason, I thought dandelions did too, but I was perhaps mistaken. And then up there, ooh, there's an opportunity for an achievement. If you can get the honey dipper that is in that beehive, you are going to be in an excellent position for, well, a very good consumable. But we might not want to waste too much time on that. Thistle again. Maybe I just have to use the gentian first for my infusions. I'm going to have to look that up. Every so often, you will actually find cairn formations in which you can take a short break and enjoy the scenery around you. It's kind of nice, because you can also get a look at where we're going to be climbing up to next. But you can also switch to portrait mode, and this is kind of cute too. That's nice. By the way, there is a photo mode, and just by going into it, you get a nice little achievement there. But this is something that I haven't really played too much around with, just because you can adjust the times and the cinematic frames, all that stuff, but I just don't think it's necessary. There's maybe off screen as I do some of the thumbnails. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do about this project, but we'll see. Because I was thinking fewer episodes, but have them be like an hour long, or maybe I'll interject with, you know, Breath of the Wild. We'll see. But I'm a little nervous because I don't know if I necessarily want to climb for the honey. The last time I tried to do this, I didn't have enough space in my backpack. And so I'm just going to go ahead and use the last of that. I'm going to make absolute certain that we have, well, that'll just go straight in there. I can go for some extra grits. I could also go for the yellow yak for additional grip because I just want as much space as I can. I'm not hungry. It's not going to matter, so I'll just toss that. Drink. Toss you. And we'll also drink you. There we go. Make sure we have literally as much space as we possibly can. This Edelweiss is going to be so annoying, but that's a good spot for it. And that should definitely be enough, I hope. Ooh, but wait. There is also a nest here, which is excellent for us. I do like that. Oh, is there an egg, though? Please let there be.
Keep him coming.
Yeah, really. Okay, so now it's going to start warning me about low visibility, and we're probably going to want to turn on our lights, so let's do that. It's going to be just affixed to our back. Not the worst thing in the world, but it does make climbing in the dark a lot more feasible. Here we go. So let's see. I see a couple of little handholds here. So can I make this one? Nope, not quite. That's all right. Just do this. Let me try you right there. Let's see this one. Oh, okay. This might be a bit sketchy. Okay. So you can go right there also. Oop. And reach. Ugh. There we go. Oop. Okay. It's not where I wanted my foot to be. So let me go and adjust that. Right there. And let me see. Yeah. It might actually be easier to get it from above. Just like climbing up another way and then climbing down there. But let me see. Yeah, and this is the way we want to go. Let me do this. Can I do one of those? You can do it, Ava. We're fine. Yeah, there's definitely some little slats here that I can definitely work with. But we do want to watch out for the bees. Not the bees. Oh yeah, this is going to be sketchy as hell. Don't like it. Okay, let's just recover for a moment. So we don't have to get that close to it, or as close as you would think. I want to adjust my legs just a bit. Set you right there, maybe. And we'll do something like this. Please reach. You can do it, Ava. Now I'll try for you. Try for you. Good spot. And we reach. Thank you. Haha. All right. Didn't have to look like a fool. That is, unless I fall here. Still wouldn't kill me. You do have a surprising amount of health and resilience to your name. So let me make sure we are reaching nice and good here. So my legs are tweaking out. There we go. Anytime you see grass on a platform, that's usually a good sign too, that you're in a spell of safety. Okay. Okay. I think we're okay. We made it just by the skin of our feet. And we can just keep on going up. Oh yeah. There you go. Just clamber on up. You can do it. Not the slip. Thank God. Whew. That is a rough one, my friends. But nothing will remotely prepare you for the running and jumping onto a wall, which I refuse to do unless I absolutely have to. It looks like there's something else down there. I might go ahead and pick that up because it might be a bit easier on the mind. So I'll try it. So I could have sworn that aside from gentians, dandelions and maybe even thistles could be used to have infusions. And the thing about infusions is you get something called the ultimate infusion, and that'll be 5 minutes of unregulated grit to your name. And you can actually store that in your side jug, which means you get 20 minutes of grit essentially. And that is extremely helpful. but I don't know. Seems kind of suspicious, right? So let's actually, yeah, let's go and use this now. Bivouac. Looks like we have a couple of different places to go, but we're almost to the point where you would be if you skipped the tutorial. So if you take a look at the tape fingers, this is where you can get a nice little look at each of our hands and our little dainty little fingies. And usually I've never had to worry much about these. You can get through the game by essentially not worrying about this mechanic in the slightest, but taping these is very annoying. This is the one thing I would recommend going into your options to auto do, because you have to rotate the control stick like 10 times per finger while taping it, and it's just so cumbersome. And I might just go and show that off screen. But as far as things are concerned here, if we go ahead and I guess we don't really need the honey dipper, all things considered. Let's go and take some water, and we'll go and take some chocolate. We'll mix it all together, and we'll make a poor man's chalky milk. Not the best setting to enjoy, but who can say no to chocolate? Now, this is actually pretty good because it gives us 2 minutes of focus, and because it's in our side jug, we get 4 servings of it, so that's incredible. But what you want to actually do with this is mix it with an egg, because this is another item that is actually quite rare: chocolate eggs. To accomplish a great project like the Ascent of Kami, there's nothing more motivating than a small project. Today's, that will be a chocolate egg. So it fills you up like no one's business, gives you burst and focus, and that is very nice because it's also quite small. So we'll go and store that for later. We're not hungry, we're not thirsty. Unfortunately, I don't want any more chocolate drink because I want to infuse these items with it. So we'll have to go and dump it essentially. And luckily that is something you can do. But some of these bivouacs, if you're close enough to a water source, it will go ahead and you can fill up from in there. So I'm just going to take a quick look, because it seems as though we might have some choices. And I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. This might actually be a pretty nice contender, I would think. Nice little spot to rest, plenty of jagged lines. And if you want, you can climb this thing, but the running mechanic in this game is especially janky. I think that's probably the worst part about this entire game, is just that one mechanic. And it's because you run at a wall, then you cling onto it, but about half the time you don't. You just fall, and it's never worth it. And I think from this height, it will just barely not kill you. So yeah, you have been forewarned. I don't think there's even anything on this pillar to justify that. So I'm gonna go ahead and drink up, and we got some focus for our days, and we'll go and fill this back up. And I just want to test my hypothesis, because if I can get my infusions to work with thistles and dandelions, that would be nice. But I think so long as you start with the gentian, you should be okay. Gentian? I don't know. Well, we go and mix that together. And there we go, gentian infusion. Doesn't really do much for us, aside from slightly more health and temperature stuff. But one of the nice things about cooking liquids is you can reheat them, and so that'll reset the timer, which is particularly nice. So I guess we'll just try. I'll be learning a thing or two about this shortly. Okay, strong infusion, perfect. This gives us 4 minutes of grip, which could actually be a bit better, but if I find something else, I'll go ahead and definitely mix it with that. Unfortunately, the honey dipper, if I had mixed the gentian by itself with the honey dipper, I think that would give us super honey. I don't remember. Mixing things with the Alpine Cola will get rid of the grit effect too, by the way, so you kind of want that on its own. But as far as things are concerned, we made a lot of space in our inventory for that, so we'll take that. And we're not quite there on our compost like I thought we would be, but that's okay. Doesn't quite matter. All right, last stretch. I think this whole intro section is going to be its own episode, so forgive me, my friends, but I don't know if it's necessarily worth it to cut the tutorial into multiple episodes. It is a very, very helpful one though. And it's just fun. I think you'd be doing yourself a disservice on not playing through it when given the chance to. So I'm gonna set you right here. And there's a couple little divots. Do this, and I can reach that. There we go. Give ourselves some breathing space here. Yeah, we'll be able to get to that, no problem. Reach this. And actually... can I actually... Yeah, I'll use you. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes some of the leverage you would think you're using to get up a little higher doesn't work as expected, really. Here we go. Okay, this is good. So we'll set you right there. And I can reach that. Oh yeah. Look at that. Just climbing on up. I would love to see a speedrun of this game, by the way. This is one that I feel like would be so rewarding and so much fun to try and do at like a speedrunning event or something. I mean, I just feel like it'd be so harrowing. I don't know. I love that word for this game. It's absolutely what describes it to a T. Because there are some very harrowing moments. And it's pretty scary. So let me... Ooh, I might have got myself in a weird position here. I can just go and set you off right there. I can't... Oh, yes, I can. I can totally... Well, I can use this. Yeah, I should get over here. Stretch. Don't fall. Don't slip. There you go. And just stick my hands in there. Kind of terrifying. I probably don't need to waste any time going over there. Just keep going up. Well, I want to set you right there. Yeah, I'm going to have to go to the left again anyways. So we'll go and take this. Fairly simple, right? At least you would think. Sometimes some of these vertical ones, obviously we're doing a lot of vertical climbing, but they are deceptively out of reach. And you'll soon come to see some of the patterns in how you're supposed to go through certain places. So let me see. Will this work the way I hope it will? Please? There we go. Anytime she slips, my heart skips a beat. It's kind of insane. Ooh, okay. Gotta be doing all that now, Ava. There we are. Yeah, you can also use like the sound she makes, which I feel like are a little exaggerated sometimes, but in a life or death situation, it does make sense. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I should be alright here, I hope. Just use this. Can I reach that? Let me just do this. Then I can slightly stretch. I can use this. Right, here we go. Okay. Shoot. Don't like the way this ended up working out for us. Let me see. Okay, so that would actually be a lot safer if I just got off there. Sometimes they'll have like these little like landings that will have some of those infusions and stuff on them. And it's kind of scary. One cool aspect, by the way, is being able to display your route. So there, I got the bird's eye. I can show you all the ways you went. And there's a little guide that eventually comes up where it shows the color denomination of the difficulty of the path you took. And so I think the hardest one is white, but like green's the easiest, simplest time. And then it goes to yellow, red, I think purple and black are ones we'll be seeing, but it's like where we've particularly struggled, and it goes all the way through. It's kind of impressive, actually, just how much depth there was in our climbing here. So you can see this is where I dropped off 2 times and walked around far more than anybody naturally should. But a good way of familiarizing yourself with this game is just all of the different ways to go. So this is already much different than the path I normally take. Like I said, I would usually try to jump over here and, you know, cling onto the wall, but most of the time you just end up falling, and then it's an easy climb to the top. So it's just one of those things, man. But don't worry, once we get out of this initial area, I think we'll be making a lot more progress a lot more quickly. So I'm sorry. I know a lot of people usually just will have clicked away already. No climbing in the first 5 minutes. Come on, brother. But nah, we're fine. And then we just climb up here and we'll be good as gravy. Oh yeah, brother. Oh. So, there we go. Yeah, I just love it when there's so many little cracks and she just kind of sticks her little appendages in them. Her dancing phalanges. And we did it. We still even had some focus to fall back on. But here we've got water, and I don't think this necessarily matters anymore. If we head over here...
Are you ready for Cammy?
But with that, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ellison, and thank you so much for joining me here in Cairn. Let's start the climb.
Play the message.
Hey, it's Naomi. Just making sure you got this before you're too high up. I wanted to say, be careful. You know I always worry. Watch for the snakes, the drops, the loose holds, the cold, your food supply, and so on and so forth. Also to say that I'm always with you, you know? She says from her couch. Anyways, that's all I had, sweetie. Hang in there.
Good thing you don't know about the bears. You wouldn't have let me leave.